Hey guys, this week is all about the big reveal. Masks, shirts, they're all coming off.
Remember to put on an undershirt today.
Ooh, Lord.
And yeah, and of course we're going to go after our favorite host of Fox News, Tucker, because we are the anti-Tucker show. So
3, 2, 1. Here we go.
So first up, the CDC director announcing mask off, baby, mask off.
There are many situations where fully vaccinated people do not need to wear a mask, particularly if they are outdoors.
Raquel looking fine in her white
I
shirt.
hate their background. I don't understand why we can't see her office.
If you are fully vaccinated and want to attend a small outdoor gathering with people who are vaccinated and unvaccinated, or dine at an outdoor restaurant with friends from multiple households, the science shows if you are vaccinated, you can do so safely, unmasked.
What else do we need? That's all we need to hear. And mask off, like the rap song says.
Mask off, fuck it, mask off.
You know, when we're outside.
Yeah, exactly. Like, why are people going to run out and get vaxxed if there's not an incentive? Like, the incentive is that you can live a little bit more freely. You know, everybody's wearing masks, and I'm just like walking around on the promenade, and there's breeze, and like, take your mask off. We're 70% vaccinated in Brooklyn.
Yeah,
I know this is so controversial. Like, I'm about to be like canceled. I'm not anti-vax. I'm anti-mask.
It doesn't. I think now, like if you'd have said this last week, maybe, but now it seems like you're in line with the CDC.
So the next time you see someone in a mask on the sidewalk or on the bike path, do not hesitate. Ask politely but firmly, would you please take off your mask? Science shows there is no reason for you to be wearing it. Your mask is making me uncomfortable.
Tucker went on this rant, and here's Fauci responding.
You know, I think that's self-evident that's bizarre, Jim. I don't want to get into a back and forth with Tucker Carlson, but I mean, it's just almost self-evident.
I love Fauci when he's like, girl, what are you talking about? Like, that's the
also,
energy that we need.
Yeah, also when he like gets all like riled up, he sounds even more like Brooklyn or wherever he's from. That's bizarre.
That's bizarre. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
We are just so used to things being so fast. And I think like science doesn't work like that. And science like
what?
Science,
have you heard of Operation Warp Speed?
Once or twice. Because it's so evidence-based, it's like we think that once science says something, that's it, right? But science is kind of ever changing and ever growing once you get it more information. But I don't think that really fits in the world. That doesn't really fit in the world that we live in today, right? Like people are like, once you say it, that is it. And I don't want to hear you go back on it. And I think the CDC has been really careful. In fact, I know about telling people, okay, you can take your mask off or this is that, because what they don't want is to have to go back.
Today, the Justice Department is opening a civil investigation into the Louisville Jefferson County Metro Government and the Louisville Metro Police Department to determine whether LMPD engages in a pattern or practice of violations of the Constitution or federal law.
This is actually like a very powerful move that President Obama used at least, I think, 12 times, and every time like resulted in actual reform. So this is like people might say, oh, it's just an investigation, like nothing's going to happen, but actually it's resulted in lasting reform almost every single time.
These pattern and practice investigations are powerful, and they typically happen in like high profile shootings that cause a lot of protests. Police departments and cities are not really equipped for that amount of attention and scrutiny, right? And so the local officials are like, oh my God, please help us. What the police chief said was she wants there to be a national standard for these kinds of interactions. If we understand what the force should be in Louisville or Minneapolis or Dallas or DC, if there's a standard, it makes it easier for police to do their jobs. It keeps people safe from the interactions with police officers. And I think,
so what we're saying is this isn't lip service. Like this is actually a worthy investigation that will actually not just like write up a report that's a whitewash. It will generally result in some sort of reform and some sort of standard.
And it's outside of the police reform that's happening in Congress, because it's just not happening, right? It's moving.
I was going to say that's happening. I was like, did you just say happening? It's not
talking
happening.
about in Congress.
And we won't ignore what our intelligence agencies have determined to be the most lethal terrorist threat to the homeland today. White supremacy is terrorism. We're not going to ignore that either. My fellow Americans, look.
You can pause that. It feels like the first time that a president has said something like that. Definitely Trump didn't say that, and I don't think Obama said white supremacy is terrorism. And it is one of those things about Joe Biden that I think people did not expect, because we've talked about this like 8 million times, like because he was the moderate guy. He's like he's like the nice guy. He doesn't say anything to, make people who might be on the other side mad. And I think people have been pleasantly surprised, Democrats.
It's such a whiplash from like the last 4 years where we like danced around the idea that that this kind of
or call them good people on both sides.
Right. It's just such a no, this is so obvious. There are a lot of homegrown terrorism groups in our country, including white supremacists. But it's like we've had this presidency where it's like, you're our people, and it's kind of jarring, but also
stand back and stand by, Proud Boys, like all of this kind of like winking and nodding.
It's like all really basic stuff that I don't really think makes Biden a progressive president to call out white supremacists. I just think that makes him like a decent human.
When I tell you this man is so fine, when I tell you this man is scrumptious, he make me want to, oh God.
I'm gonna look so thirsty. I'm just, maybe I'll turn my video off.
Just do a blackout of Eugene's screen.
Oh my God, this is so weird.
Wow. Wait, he has a tattoo?
Yes. Remember there's those shirtless pictures of him boxing and you can see his tats.
Oh my God, this guy.
Just too much. Oh my God.